What's up, everyone? I am Brent Gallagher, and today I am sitting with Miss Kay.
Kay,
How are you?
I'm doing well. How about you?
Look at this. You got to love it. You got to love delayed technology, because when I say something and I stop, there's like this kind of awkward silence. And then all of a sudden it comes back and it kind of like registers here. So as we've been doing so far, with the whole entire Avenu team, as we were sitting down for these kind of candid conversations, they're 10-minute talks to help you understand that we as trainers are human as well. So we have our highs and lows. We've had our struggles. We've had our missed workouts. We've had our secret kind of stash of, ice creams and other little goodies that we're diving into. And today we want to kind of get in with Kay and kind of help you see behind the scenes with her too as well, what her day is like when it comes to try to keep herself fit and healthy, what it's like to try to feed herself and her family during this period of time. She's got 2 young boys, and I would imagine they're probably eating like little horses, as most of them do, and as they're growing up. And then the last little bits of wisdom is what she can do just to kind of encourage you throughout this season of time. So with that in mind, Kay, what are you doing right now to keep yourself healthy during this season?
So I have every day somebody new to work out with. I don't work out by myself much. I'll do it, but I'd rather be with somebody, like have conversation. And I like learning from the other trainers. So it's been fun. I've been working out with Cass, Blake, doing conditioning on Thursdays. And so it's just been fun hanging out, being with other trainers.
Yeah, and I think I've just alluded to that too as well, because we're all in the social distancing and stuff there. So Kay is connecting with our trainers, just like I'm doing right now with you, is like connecting up with them, working out from a distance and stuff. People are like, what? Why are y'all getting to work out?
I know. Sorry about that.
No. So just want to make sure everybody's clarified on that, is that she is connected with them, and it's what we're doing here is we're 100% virtual training right now, and so she's getting the same real accountability that you would get if you're connecting with one of our coaches on a day-to-day basis and stuff. So I would imagine that does get a little bit old and a little bit, kind of just like you're connecting on, kind of Zoom and FaceTime, different types of calls through a screen to try to coach people and motivate them. And then on the flip side of it all, you're trying to keep yourself fit and healthy too as well through a screen. Like, what are you doing right now to kind of like keep yourself moving forward? I mean, I know there's got to be struggles with all this.
Yeah, I mean, the big thing is, I've got the boys, so I have, kept them on a routine so that when I get home, we'll go outside, we'll be together. And even just learning new things to do. Like I took the dog by myself on a walk the other day, and usually it'd either be with the boys or it'd be with my husband. But I was like, I'm going to take a few moments. So I've noticed in this time for me is I need a little more time not being on, like with the family. I've been having to learn to like transition. So I even have a spot like when I'm driving home from training that I'm like, okay, it's time to switch into mom mode. It's trying to switch into being a wife and, the personal side of my life. So that has never been hard for me. I've never had to do that. And that's been something that's been kind of challenging, is like letting there be breaks and not letting everything bleed, because it just bleeds so much that I can find myself getting lost in it.
Yeah. So when you do find yourself getting lost into it, how do you kind of like recenter yourself? How do you kind of come back to working normal?
I stop and I acknowledge where I'm at, and I go,
Right.
Oh my gosh, I feel weird. I'll just stop. I'll be like, I'm not sure what I feel. I'm not sure what's going on, but I'm feeling something. And so I allow myself to just step back, experiencing what I'm experiencing. This is on a perfect time. So Brent, other times there's like, I say stupid stuff. I hurt people's feelings. I get out of bounds, all those things.
Right.
So like this is on Kay's really being self-aware. And so I step back and kind of see where I'm at, and then kind of go, okay, what I really need is, I just take 5 minutes. That's what I try to do. That's not perfect every time.
So if you've been listening to these talks, you hear a reoccurring theme within the team, that there is a large or a big self-awareness piece to everything that, the way that we operate here at Avenu, the way that we try to coach, but then also too, as well as how we try to lead our lives. So I'm kind of curious, because this is one of these kind of deeper dive questions. We've all been through coaching. We've all been through quote unquote therapy, and they teach us to kind of recognize it. And you said, how you start to have this feeling in there. Do you feel it, where in your body do you feel that at when you start to have that feeling?
Most of the time I feel it in my chest. That's where it starts for me. And so I'll feel a tightness in my chest, or I'll literally feel myself get warm. And I'm like, okay, I'm experiencing something. And so those are triggers for me.
Yeah. And I think that's the key thing. So a lot of times I know for me, my trigger was kind of this behind the head, super
Mhm.
intense kind of like just pain. And it was very specific where it was at. And it comes through different points. Mine in the head, Kay's obviously more into her chest. And if we were to ask the others, they would probably tell you different spots. And so it's for so long, I think we kind of push that off as being frou-frou stuff. And you're like, oh, you're just overreacting. You're too emotional. But it's like, no, no, no. That is your body telling you something. That is your body. There's a great book out there called The Body Keeps the Score. It's
Yeah.
telling you that, hey, there is something up and you got to honor it some just a little bit. So kudos to you for that, for slowing down a little bit. And I'm sure, your husband and the boys on the other side are pretty, pretty
Yes.
grateful for that too as well. So is there some kind of secret indulgence right now where like, if no one's looking, you're like, hey, I reach for this in the pantry. I reach for this in the freezer. Is there any of that kind of like, let people in to go, yeah, I feel you.
Well,
I'm there too as well.
yes. So I have a mother-in-law that cooks goodies all the time, and she's kind of been in the house more than normal because what she does professionally has been shut down. And so she has been sending various boxes of her homemade goodies.
Look
So
at that.
I have been allowing myself, one of my favorite, this is my utmost favorite thing to do, is to have coffee in the afternoon and have a cookie. So I'm trying not to do it every day, but
There
that
you
is
go.
definitely when you're getting home goods. I mean,
You got to eat it up. I mean, you got to honor your mother-in-law with that. So I'm sure she'll be happy to see this and hear this
that's
too as
right.
well. She
That's
knows
right.
that her cookies are not going straight into the bin, or they're being handed off to somebody else. So
That's
that's
right.
awesome there. So as we do go through this, we kind of talked about the self-awareness piece there. We started talking about, kind of how you're keeping connected with with the team, and you're doing workouts that way, how you're taking time for yourself, how you're having a
Yeah.
few cookies every once in a while too as well, which is always great. But now's a chance to kind of like speak to that person right now who, before all this corona
Mhm.
stuff, they're doing really well. They're kind of maintaining a good workout routine. They were trying to eat healthy as they possibly could, but corona hit. They had a few bad days, and they finally just said, screw it, I'm throwing in the towel. When all this gets finished, when everything gets back to normal,
Yeah.
I'll pick back up on it all. What would you say to encourage
Right.
someone who's in that situation right now?
Um, like stop and go, okay, something's off. Like I'm not
Mhm.
feeling normal. I'm not responding like I normally do, and just take a step back. I mean, that, like I was telling you, my most self-aware times of just stopping for 5 minutes and really writing it down, like going, man, this is what I'm experiencing right now. This is why I find myself going to the refrigerator. I noticed the other day the boys, they were playing a video game, and then immediately it was a break and a switch in the games, and they came straight to and I happened to be in the kitchen. They came straight to the kitchen. And so I was like, guys, what are you doing? We just ate lunch like not too long ago. And they're like, oh yeah, what am I doing? And so went back to go play. And so I think we just have to do some red flags. Like that's the biggest thing for me is like, don't let it bleed. I know I mentioned that earlier, but for me it's just, don't let your day bleed. Don't let it just
Mhm.
be such a thing that happens to you. Like allow yourself to have a relationship with your day. I think we're all feeling so much right now and feeling separated at times from our what is normal, and all asking that question. And so if we just allow ourselves to maybe connect to ourselves and then connect to, man, this is my present normal. That is no longer here right now. Therefore, I need to engage with where I'm at. That's
Mhm.
what's been helpful for me.
Yeah, I think that's. I mean, it's the best way to sum it all up. So hit the pause button throughout your day if you're feeling a little overwhelmed, and just say, hey, what can I do right now in this moment to gain a little bit of control of what I'm doing? So tomorrow we don't know. I mean, for us, you think about, we were supposed to open
Right.
up here come a couple of days from now, and all of a sudden now we got pushed back to sometime in mid-May. We don't have that certainty of what could be, but what we're trying to do is make plans for today. What can we do today to continue making sure that we can show back up tomorrow and continue moving forward? So, Kay, thank you so much for your time. Those of you who have
Yeah.
tuned in
Thanks,
here
Brent.
and everything too as well, thank you so much for, kind of just investing these few minutes here. If you're liking these things there, grab them, share them with your friends and stuff there, because all we're trying to do is make sure that you understand that, hey, we as trainers too as well do have a little bit of a, not say a dark side, but we do have a human side of us, and we do
Yes.
have our same struggles, and we do fight the same battles as you do on a day-to-day basis. So again, thank you so much for tuning in, and tune back in next time around as we continue working through the list of the Avenu team.